Okay, so just figuring not that I have to do this video right now about my dad and his health, but it's one of those things when you realize this matter is serious enough that maybe somebody else needs to hear this and like think about time spent with your parents or your son or daughter or someone who's in bad health and may not be around much longer. You know, Even if you're not on the greatest terms, last thing you want to do is have any kind of regrets. I wish I did this. We were in bad terms, but man, looking back, God, I wish I just how stupid. I should have went and saw them, talked to Me and my dad are not on bad terms, but you and your dad or mom might be, and it's worth talking about this right now to maybe inspire somebody to go. You know what? I haven't spoke to my so and so in months or years. You don't even know if they're in bad health. Maybe it would be not a bad idea to just reach out. Hey, you know, just say something. How you doing? Um, so my dad. First of all, I had a dream. This is going back easily a year ago, probably longer, maybe a little past a year. I don't know. Oh, that was weird. I had a dream last night. My mom texted me in the dream, "Hey, just to let you know, your dad died peacefully in his sleep last night." That was the end of the dream. So my mom told me that in the dream. So, um, I knew like, oh, okay, it's gonna happen, But at least he died peacefully in his sleep. I was like, okay, what a good way to go. So when he's now 74. When he was 55, he had a kidney transplant. They only last 10 to 15 years, like max 15. He said, I prayed to God I'd get one sooner than the wait list anticipated, and my prayers were answered. The young man who died in a accident, his name was Christopher King. He goes, Christ the King. He goes, I don't take that as coincidence. And I get it, I know. And his kidney has lasted 19 years. And I said, "Can you get another one?" Like if he goes, "Well, you got to get back in line. You got to do the whole thing all over again. Wait list, all that." I go, "Okay." So, approximately 4 years ago, he got skin cancer, and it's from one of the anti whatever drugs he has to take from the kidney because your cells and things will attack a foreign object in your body. So you got to take blood thinners and this and that. And one of those things is known to cause skin cancer. And 4 years ago, hey sir, you're starting to develop some skin cancer. We see some growths on you here and there, very minor. Well, insurance isn't taken. So he's like, so what do I do? They don't take my insurance. I can't just, they're not just going to work on you. He goes, so I just, okay. He said, I prayed when I got that kidney. God, just give me 10 years would be great. Just give me enough years so that I can experience my grandkids and love them and enjoy them with them getting old enough that, they remember me. And he goes, again, 19 years later, thank you, God. I got what I asked for. And I go, not only that, Dad, nobody was expecting Ian. That was when you were 55. You're 74. Ian's only 5. So you also got to play with Ian, come see him, everything else. So you really got all your grandkids, man. That's great. And he goes, if I died tomorrow, like I don't need anything. Everything's been fulfilled. Promises I asked for, have been met. But so he had in this eye, right where my finger is, not in the eye, but right where my finger is pointing, a nasty growth. and he got approved now to get it cut out surgically. So I took him to one of his appointments to check his heart. Good enough for surgery? Yep, good to go, sir. Next Monday, you're going to get it, which was a couple weeks ago now. And so he went in. My sister took him. Everything, it went well, except they're like, we had to dig in there this far in this direction. They dug in that far. And when I saw him, it was forcing his eye kind of closed. It was the pussy thing was dripping in his eye at night, burning him like his eye. He's like, I can't wait to get this thing out, you know. So they said, look, we got most of it. There's still some in there we can't get. Some is in the bone, deep in there, and it looks like some is attaching to the eye behind your socket or whatever, you know, your eyeball. And the next thing we could possibly do is radiate that area, I guess. But you got to have skin in there. So we're going to have to graft some, right? Take it off your arm or leg or somewhere and put it in here, stitch it in there, let it grow a little bit, then radiate it. It's going to take some time. That's assuming the radiation specialist says, yeah, we can do that. He has an appointment to find out. They may say, yeah, nope, sorry. You know, and the sad part is 4 years ago, if he would have asked me and my sister, like, my insurance doesn't cover this, can you guys help out? I would, absolutely. But you know how men are, especially older men. They don't want to say nothing to nobody. Everything's fine. No, it's good. You know, I'm good. So you don't think there's a problem. So he's triple vaxxed. And we've heard about something called turbo cancers, right? I just want to mention that. And when I say triple vaxxed, you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, is that a contributing factor, etc., you know? But his brother has cancer moving all over the place, spreading. Also triple vaxxed. No kind of kidney problems. Generally was healthy. Again, just saying. It's an interesting coincidence is all. But my dad had told me a little while back, before the surgery even, I'm not going to live my life in pain, suffering. All my wishes have been fulfilled. Between you and me, I am a diabetic, you know that. I'll just overdose on my insulin the night before I decide today's the day. When I go to bed that night, I'm just going to overdose on insulin. And I go, like, okay, I get it. I get it. You want to be in pain, we got to chop this off, got to chop that off. Like, no one who wants to live like that. Got to see his grandkids, his life, he feels like his life's been fulfilled. You know, so, you know, he told my wife the other day, like, you know, I don't, well, I could find it in front of me, but, you know, like you're basically like a daughter to me, like, you know, a daughter. He has a daughter, my sister, but like, Evelyn, you've been great. You're a great mom to you and Joe's kids, and you're like a daughter to me. I just want to let you know, blah, 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 blah. And so, it's just, he's crying. He's crying on the phone. And when I went and saw him a couple days ago, he was crying in front of me. And I think he knows, you know yourself, his days are really numbered. And my sisters told me yesterday, like he just had that stuff cut out of his eye. She goes, he's got new stuff forming on his face and other places like immediately. It's not looking good. So now my dad is in, oh shit, I may have days to live, or maybe weeks, maybe months, I'm not sure. So we're trying to get him over here to live with us. We have a spare bedroom that we just turned into a little dance room, put up mirrors on the wall. It was really nice. But we don't care. Like, come over. Stay here. And, so I want to mention something. I told you I was taking testosterone, and it's kind of changed me. I don't get angry like I used to and yell, and things that would make me mad don't seem to make me mad. Besides the sex drive going through the roof, like there's other things, right? And another thing that I had to reflect on, made me actually cry a little bit in my car the other day when our friend's birthday was here at the house, my wife's friend, my friend, whatever. And I went to go pick up some pizzas. So that's her favorite place. So I went to her favorite place to get pizzas for her birthday, to her friend Rachel. And I started to reflect. Your dad has that little chihuahua that's not neutered, and he'd bring it over here inside the house, which is fine. We have a dog too, and the dogs would play. But a not neutered dog is gonna piss all over my furniture and on my stuff. And I caught the little bastard doing that numerous times, and I said, Dad, I've had enough of this. Get your dog neutered. No, I don't want to neuter the dog. I don't want to neuter the dog. Dad, get the dog neutered. He can come over if you neuter him. If you don't neuter him, I don't want your dog coming over here pissing on all my stuff. So then it was like, all right, well, can I bring him over and I'll just stay on the back porch with him, or, outside or whatever. And I go, yeah, that's fine. And then he starts pissing all over my back porch, starts smelling like piss all over the place. It's a powerful smell, dog that's not neutered. And this is my grill area, my back porch area. Like, Dad, get the effing dog neutered. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Dad, no. I don't want your dog pissing on my back porch everywhere. Now, you have to have your eye on the dog the whole time, because he's going to sneak over and piss on something, or else you're going to smell it and try to figure out where's this coming from. I don't want that headache in my life. I don't want that stress in my life. Get your dog neutered. No, I don't want to. All right. I mean, just when you come over, leave your dog at home. So he would, but he didn't come over as much as he used to. And so here I am thinking about this. Your dad stopped coming over as much as he used to. So Ian hasn't seen him that much. The girls saw him plenty. They're 19, 19, and 16. But, I mean, Ian's seen him plenty, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, and now, and for a while now, it's been not that he doesn't want to come at all. He sees this growth all over his face. It's really bad. He doesn't want the grandkids seeing him like this. But he's at the end of his life, we all think, him too. And I'm sitting here going, couldn't you just let him bring the dumb dog over and piss all over everything? Like, he would have come over more than he was. How important was it? Even when the dog was on the back porch, you could have just hosed freaking everything off and just figured out where the dog pissed after. Like, who cares? So it's again, stupid things like that. And now I'm like, Dad, come over. We're gonna get his ass on a Fenben and ivermectin, or there's some other stuff, because he won't do it. I want to do what the doctor says. He's got 25 years experience. He's Dad. These doctors don't know jack shit but what they've been taught, and they've only been taught to use effing chemo and radiation, and cut and wound you, which is what they just did. Wouldn't you like to just take a pill, like? And even if it doesn't work, it didn't do anything to you anyways? No, I don't know. If he's here, we can help with that. Let us cook you real meals instead of you buying complete garbage microwave meals, because you're getting to the point where you don't want to hardly do anything. Cooking a meal is like asking for a lot. Just come here. That lady I was dancing with in the last video I uploaded, her name's Kristen. Very nice lady. She's a chef, and she cooks very well. She's like, oh yeah, I'll make you guys a meal for the week, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever you want. This is what I charge, blah, blah, blah. So me and Evan are like, hell yeah. We got our dinners ready for us for 4 days in a row. Let's do it. So we had the first one last night. It was really good. But it's like, oh, my dad, there's plenty here. Like, just stay with us. the room's ready. I got the bed and mattress stuff here. I'll just put it back in there. There's already a dresser that we pushed in the closet. Everything's here, and you can bring your dog, but we're going to neuter your dog. Well, okay, yeah, you can neuter the dog, but you need to come. I don't know if I want to come. I think I just want to stay here where I'm at. We're trying to get him over here. Deep down, because I had my dream, he may do what he said he's going to do in my own thoughts before this goes much further with the insulin. So, the moral of the story is I'm not even kind of upset that if he wants to go that way, that's your decision. I respect it. As a man, women, on the other hand, they won't accept that. They're more emotional, right? They're more caring, giving, nurturing. No. And I was like, I've got to go talk to him. And this was a few days ago. My wife's like, wait a minute. I would go with you, and I should go with you, but it was the day of her friend's birthday. I already got the pizzas and brought it back. And I'm like, well, I'll just go see my dad, go talk to him for a little bit. So she's like, well, don't just be like, yeah, Dad, if he starts talking about wanting to kill himself with his insulin, and I'm like, she's like, tell him, like, we'll get an RV even, we'll bring an RV back over here, this and that, but then it was like, well, he could just stay in the room. We have the spare room right now. So she's like, be encouraging, tell him we want him here, we want to see him, I go, yeah, good point, Evelyn. Like, I will do that, because she's right, So I didn't just go over there to support him and talk about what he may want to do with his life, which did come up, and he still said that. But I did offer, like, hey, we would like to have you over there. Like, you might need help. You might need to be taken to appointments. Like, it'd just be easy. We can help feed you. You can have breakfast with us. We got our chickens out here now. We can have eggs in the morning and, like, nice meals at night instead of your garbage you're eating, And so I think he's kind of considering it, but the last thing I heard him say last night, I think, was, or was it the night before, whatever, I think it was yesterday sometime, that, no, I'm just going to stay here for now, at where he's at. But he was crying, throughout the conversation. And I think he's at that point where a person gets when you realize, I'm not going to be around much longer. And you cry, you don't like the idea. Even though his wishes were fulfilled, again, death's not a fun thing to probably think about, because then it's like, well, I'll never see the grandkids or my own kids again. You start reflecting on things, my daughter, my son, whatever. My dad was not abusive to us. I didn't have a bad relationship with him. I'm not in a bad place by any means with him. But just imagine if you are, and once they go, you're going to have regrets, man. God, I should have just buried the hatchet with him. God, I should have just mended things, and So I want you to think about that if you're in that position. But even if you're not, again, think of some of the dumb things, like the dog pissing story and all that. Like, was it worth not having him come as much as he was normally coming? He still came, because he would just leave the dog at home. His dog's not going to die being home for a few hours, for God's sakes. But again, the cancer started kicking in and got worse, skin cancer, and he didn't want to be seen as much, and he was starting to get tired too. He used to go out with his dog, and we'd go here and there, and he goes, now I just go get in my car and drive on the back of the property while the dog does his thing. He used to walk out there with the dog. Now he's getting in his car and driving. And I saw his feet when I was at his house the other day. Both of his feet are really fat. I'm not sure. I don't think it has anything to do with the skin cancer. It might have to do with diabetes or something else, but he's got it under control. Don't know what the deal is with the foot. Doesn't even matter. But I just, I'm just coming to the realization, like, hey, he really may not be around much longer. It's like, well, do I need to do anything with him? Do I need to, something we missed out on, and it's like, no, we didn't miss out on anything. Not like we need to go do something together or as a family. Hey, like everything's good. It's just coming to this conclusion of his life might be coming to a conclusion. And the fact that all that stuff started growing on his face in other places right after this surgery, which was just 2 weeks ago, is not good. And it might be even far too late for Fen-Ben or anything else, ivermectin, to have any kind of chance. So it's sad, like I'm thinking about it. And at the same time, like I know where he's coming from, like he lived his life. He's happy with everything, how it went. But I think he's realizing, man, I thought I had a little bit, a year or two. And he said on the phone last night, I may have days, guys, or weeks. He goes, you know how much I weigh right now? No, how much? 155. Now, my dad's taller than me. I weigh 155. This is my exact ideal weight. But as a somewhat fit, slightly fit, maybe I should say, guy, my dad's not. He's not fit, but he's also not overweight, obviously, or even was. But at one point in his life, he was over 200, 205. He's like, oh, man, he goes, I usually around 185, He's like, I haven't weighed this kind of weight in, I think he said since like high school or something. So, but it's like, well, yeah, you're probably, let us feed you, right? Let us cook. We got the stuff here. Just heat it up. It's easy. Snacks, whatever you want. Just, it's easy. Because you're not going to make yourself many meals being tired and this and that, drained. And then radiation, what's that going to do to you? If they decide to do that. But again, it's like you're going to radiate this, but you got new growth. Like that just came up. Just came up. Again, not good. So, you can certainly send your thoughts, prayers, meditations, energy to him. But, I just feel like, I don't want to use the word futile but that's what comes to mind. Futile, like I think it's coming. Like I think he might be at the end of his life. And I just hate hearing him cry, like my dad. I couldn't tell you when I ever remember my dad cry, ever. In these last times that I went and saw him a few days ago, he cried. Phone last night, he was crying. And it's a crying of, I'm dying. And it's hitting me like I'm really realizing I'm dying. I'm physically dying as I'm sitting here talking on the phone to you guys. I'm dying. I'm 155, this and that, and, what do you say? What do you say besides, Dad, come over, let us take care of you, let us feed you, you're going to need this anyways. But in his mind, he's probably like, I don't want because he told me when I saw him, I don't want the grandkids seeing me like this. I don't want them seeing me like this. He goes, your sister, oh, Dad, let me come with you to your appointments. And he goes, Andrew, do you know what you're going to see? When they do that surgery, do you know what you're going to see? Oh, it's fine. Well, it wasn't fine. She didn't take it very well. My sister. Just like he thought. He said, well, you wanted to be a part of this. You said that. I know. But it wasn't good. Looking at this gaping hole in between his eye and nose that was deep wasn't fun. And he doesn't want her, much less the grandkids, to remember his last moments all scarred up and holes and surgery and pus and growths on his face. So he's like getting into the point where he's trying to isolate himself. It has been for a little while. And we're like, well, we'd rather see you. We'd rather have the grandkids see you before you go. I don't think it's going to be that bad as you think for them seeing you like this. At least they're seeing you and experiencing you. It's not like you're in a bed in pain, like, like you're still walking around, you're sitting and talking, you sound normal. You just have damage to your face, so to speak. But in his mind, I don't want the grandkids remembering me like this, looking at me like this. I don't want them to see me like this. So you can't force somebody to do what they don't want to do. And one of the things he said in that phone call was, I don't want to come right now. I'd rather stay home, stay here right now. And I think he's saying that personally because he may really think his days are numbered days, and he's going to go, you know what? Today's the day. Insulin, extra dose of insulin time. And he just overdoes it when he goes to bed. I've got keys to his house. I've got the titles to the cars that he has. He's got 2 Prius Nissan Leafs. The original one I gave him from 2015. And then the second one I got him, I don't know, a couple years ago. And he's like, here's the titles. Let's go back to you. Okay. So when I left his house, he goes, hold on, let me go get those titles. So all right. So he gave me the titles. And I think he's preparing. And like anybody who's going to do that, they don't typically tell you. They just go, today's the day. And even now after the surgery, he's like, if I lay down this way, all the pus is still coming out of there. It's burning my eye. So I have to sit upright like this in bed and not try to move because it's going to go one eye or the other. And it burns. It's not fun. I don't like it. I don't want to live like this, which is why we did the surgery to begin with. Let's cut it out, let that thing heal up, and you'll be good. Oh, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. New things popped up. Days later. Oh, okay. So he's probably preparing himself to do that. To take himself out, so to speak. And we'd like to get him over here. Matter of fact, if you want to do that, let us try to nurse you back to health and get rid of that stuff with those Fenben and other stuff. And if not, and you decide, because it ain't working, things are getting worse, and you want to give yourself an extra dose of insulin here in this bedroom, that's okay, because I'll come down the next morning and find you. You'll probably have a note or something left behind, I'm assuming. And I'll cry, obviously. And my whole family will probably cry. And it's like, it's okay. He's moved on. He's on the other side waiting for Woo Dude to open up his bar with the best spirits in town, right? He's going to get the place ready for Woo Dude. So, it's one of those things I've never, at 47 years old, I've only really remembered my uncle John dying, which was my mom's uncle. I cried when he died. He was such a nice old man. Really sweet man. And then my grandma, when she was in hospice or kind of a nursing home for a little bit, when she died. And what's interesting about that is my grandma wasn't real nice. And I did not cry when she died at all. Not even kind of. But I did cry for my Uncle John. Just this nice, sweet old man. And maybe that's the difference, which is kind of sad, like it's not like I didn't like my grandma. It's just that she was very crabby and kind of mean. And when she passed, it was just like, oh, okay, grandma died, all right. But I've never lost a parent. My mom's alive. My dad's alive. But not for much longer. And again, his kidney's 19 years old. Even if we could get past the cancer stuff, even if we could get him out of that. Oh, my kidney started failing again, right? That's coming. Absolutely coming. Dad, what can you do about that? Well, they said you just have to get back in line again. You got on the waiting list. Da, da, da. He's like, I'm 74 years old. What do you think the priority is going to be for me? And I'm like, I get it. I get it. I hear you. So anyways, I just want to talk about that, and in case it makes you think about things in your own life, your own family. Again, especially if you got a grudge or if they got a grudge, you haven't been talking for a while, man. You never know. And what about an accident? Oh, my dad's too young. Oh, got an accident and died. It's better to patch things up. And the funny thing is, I'm telling you about patching things up, and I don't even have a bad relationship with my dad. But I feel like I'm supposed to tell you, somebody out there, that, or your mom, or your sister, or your brother, or whoever, like, just reach out and say something to them. Hey, haven't talked to you in a long time. Just been thinking about you. Hope you're doing okay. Make it short and sweet, because you never know when they're going to be gone. And they never know when you're going to be gone. And when that happens, that's when you have the regrets that may last you the rest of your life. That you're going to go get the dog pissing on my back porch story, or in the house. Was it really that bad? Considering this, no. So I cried about that. Reflecting back, dumb decision that didn't seem dumb at the time. Like, Dad, I'm just asking you to neuter the effing dog, so you and him can come over here and walk in the house, out of the house. It won't matter anymore. Now I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So you could put part of the blame on him. Dad, why didn't you do it? But I could have also just let it go. Just spray the back porch off. Every time you'll get it. You'll find where it's out somewhere. Just spray the whole damn porch off. You could have seen him a little bit more. The good news was it wasn't that bad of him not coming over as often. He still came over. So it was really when the cancer started doing its thing that he started backing off. Not only from me, but my sister too. So I don't, I'm not having regrets, but well, I guess it is somewhat still a regret, I guess. Just, he could have come over 10 more times, 5 more times, whatever it is. Again, think about these things, think about these decisions, but at the time you don't think about this kind of a thing. All I'm thinking about is this nasty dog piss smell that anybody who walks my back porch is going to smell, and I don't like it, and just get your effing dog neutered. I don't want to. I don't want to chop his balls off. Dad, come on, man. And now he's like, okay, yeah, if I do this, you guys can neuter the dog. Not only that, he's going to probably need to be neutered because my sister's going to get the dog. It was actually originally their dog. He took the dog. So it's going to go back to its own home, so to speak. And as long as there's not another dog around, he doesn't seem to spray or whatever. But I think my sister and them would neuter him anyways. Okay, we're just in case we're not playing that game again. And I get it. So, anyways, just want to share that with you guys. And when this gets worse, I'll let you know. Hey, last night was the day. Pops is no longer with us. And I'll just think back all the times he took me to the park as a kid and bought me a little dirt bike or a go-kart. We were not rich. We were middle class, maybe lower middle class. Lived in an apartment complex for a long time here in Florida since I was 5. Same apartment complex, a couple different units. As we got older, my sister and I needed bedrooms rather than share a bedroom. And I spent from 5 to 17 in that apartment complex. And whenever I get a really important dream, that's where Spirit brings me back to. That apartment complex to let me know this is a serious piece of information in this dream. Pay attention. So it's kind of interesting how that happens. But, he did what he could. Always worked for himself. And I think my mom has a little resentment for that because she had a full-time job and here he is doing a moving business. He'd move people, and he'd go to work 2 or 3 times a week and make a decent amount of money moving people. Meanwhile, she's slaving, doing different things, at the time throughout her life, while he kind of has the easy life in her eyes. But it's work smart, not hard. And if someone found themselves a job to work for themselves and still provide income, great. Now, I think some of that time, maybe he didn't make good enough money, and maybe that would be something they'd fight about sometimes. I don't remember, but nonetheless, All those things you're going to reflect back on, whether you're the married couple that lost the husband or the wife. Oh, that time I yelled at them for that. Like I was telling you guys about me and my kids and my wife, yelling at them, making them cry. My low testosterone getting me angry fast, snapping at stupid stuff and yelling. And now I'm on that stuff and it's like, holy shit. I don't get mad at nothing. Like nothing. Things that I already know would aggravate me. Nope. Nope. It's all good. So it's like that. Like my mom might be reflecting back after this going, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I shouldn't. But that's what we all do, isn't it? Which is why I'm doing this video. I want you to think about these things in advance so that you can try to rectify some of these things before it gets to this point where someone's at the end of their life and it may be the end of the life cycle might be coming quicker than expected. And what if they're in bad enough shape that you can't even do anything with them anymore? Oh, I wanted to go there with them. Oh, I wanted to take them there and do that. Oh, I can't. They're in too bad a shape. So on that note, appreciate you listening and talk to you guys later.